Hello and welcome to Lifestyles, a look beyond the headlines. I'm Yang in Beijing. The ongoing conflict in Libya has forced hundreds of thousands of people in the country to flee for their lives. Many have crossed into bordering Tunisia, while others have chosen to take boats across the Mediterranean to seek exile in Europe. More than 20,000 refugees from Libya have safely landed in Italy, but countless others are still desperately in need of help. Lifestyles begins our coverage with more on the fighting in Libya and across northern Africa, which is leading to the mass displacement of people.
The UN says humanitarian aid must be increased to help those stuck in conflict-affected areas of Libya. The Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs says there is a dire need for further access and humanitarian action in northwestern Libya, and particularly in the city of Misrata. Fighting in Libya between the government of Muammar Gaddafi and a rebel faction is still underway, making it very difficult for aid to get into the country. In Misrata, people have endured fighting for more than 40 straight days, leaving hundreds dead and wounded and thousands stranded. Because of the heavy fighting, people are unable to leave for safer locations. The UN says escape is now a life or death matter, so it's suggesting a temporary ceasefire in the area so that people can get themselves and their families out of the harm's way. Since fighting in Libya broke out, hundreds of thousands of Libyans have been forced from their homes. And that has international humanitarian efforts under enormous pressure as they rush to meet the needs of the growing number of refugees in northern Africa.
But as you have seen, in the last 3 weeks, I went to the 3 areas in the world where we are witnessing the largest number of people being displaced now by conflict. The Libyan borders, the Cote d'Ivoire borders, and the Somalia borders. I don't recall in my 5.5 years of being High Commissioner for Refugees a moment which such a large pressure is put into humanitarian workers being able to respond to the needs of people suffering in these circumstances.